Because weather is always a topic, today is supposed to be much cooler, hence no tank top. Woo! And it's going to be like a beautiful day for work. In fact, it might even rain tonight. Three appointments today. I'm going to hit them bam, bam, bam. One is up north, one is down south, and one is back in town. So that's actually kind of perfect that I travel, and then my last appointment is here in the city. So that's awesome. If you're new, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Well, we certainly have different skies today. The smoke has moved out. Still can't see Mount Rainier. It would have been up here in front of you a little bit on the right. But it is definitely cloudy, and we have possible rain overnight. Yeah, so tonight we have a 30% chance of that wet stuff falling from the sky once again. Keep left at the and fall is fast approaching. Summer is almost over. And about 5 minutes later, maybe we have precipitation happening right now. Well, just a little bit. This right here is something you don't see every day, although I have shown it before. Somebody's moving. So I've seen these being transported before, but I've never seen them being loaded or unloaded. So do they build a trailer specifically for them, and they just leave it underneath them each time they drop them? Or do they actually reuse the trailer and just like drop it onto blocks or something, like jack the whole thing up and put it on a foundation? Or is it both? Oh, and look, police activity over here on the left. Wow, everything is happening today. Wow.
Take the next left onto 112th Street Southwest.
No, I don't want to because I need gas. He's making a right turn. I don't know what this guy on the left is doing. Give him some room, dude. Swing it wide, man. Swing it wide. Apparently, this guy on the left has some place to be, so. Alright, and we're off like a dirty shirt. Whoop, whoop. Well, it's not every day you see this. We almost passed each other on the freeway at the same time. The helicopter and us. The base is right over to the left there. That's why they're going over there. Alright, we are headed out to Lacey. So our first job today was up north in Tacoma. Our next job is down south in Lacey. I think I've already said this, but I've also snapped a few of my friends and told them the same thing. So sometimes I might be repetitive, and there's a reason for it. 65 miles an hour down the freeway, and these three cars on the left now are about 7 feet off each other's bumpers. Now, if you see the car on the left there, then the truck, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 cars ahead of him is a state trooper. If one of these guys that's tailgating thinks that he's going to break out and speed ahead of everybody, and they're not paying attention, then hopefully they'll get pulled over. You know, just saying. Wow. 2 of my 3 appointments today, I had to tell them that their engines were bad. So instantly, if you're wanting to save your car and you want to replace it with a remanufactured engine, you're looking at between $5,000 to $11,000, somewhere in that ballpark. This was a Volvo, so more expensive than most. The other one that I told they needed a car or needed an engine was a Dodge. So, all right, bad news abounds. It's actually raining. I mean, like drops of rain. What is this? I don't understand. Oh shoot, the window's on the Nugget. Alright. There we go. Close that window. Close that window. Close that window. Locking up everything tight. The rain has returned. So what usually ends up happening in August/September is we'll have a little bit of rain, and then all the termites come out, then the termites go away, and then it gets nice weather again for a little while, and then after that, we're done with the nice weather. Wow, it's still raining. There's a puddle outside.
Yeah, I just actually stepped in a puddle.
Ew,
And
that's
now my foot is wet.
that's disgusting. I didn't think it was going to be this time of year so soon.
I like it.
I do not.
I like it.
We need it. It's nice, as long as it doesn't do this tomorrow when I'm working. But it's time for food. Mmm. Meow, 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 meow. No? Oh, and the light turns off. The light's telling me to stop. Stop. So, I'm not sure if we're the only ones that do it.
What, meow?
Yeah. Do you guys meow to songs?
I'm sure it's just us.
Probably just us. Hear a song, especially if you don't know the lyrics, but you want to sing along.
Meow, 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 meow.
Alright, it must be just us. So, it's time for COC. And it rained today. I worked today. Angie worked today.
I didn't work, I volunteered.
Well, you worked.
Volun-worked.
It
Yeah.
was her first day as the PTA president.
Yep.
I'm so proud
I
of
was assigned my room and my cubbies, and I collected as much of the stuff around the school that I knew belonged to the PTSA and tried to get it all organized.
See, so
Labeled things, organized things, put them away in groups that make sense.
little known fact is that if she hadn't been president, there may not have been a PTA this year.
Yeah,
So she's like bringing it together because it's for the kids,
it is.
and it's so awesome. Okay, I'm so proud of you. Okay, Mr. Brot. Oh, because it's time for COC, which stands for commenting on comments. The acronym is COC, but it's just an acronym. All right. Speaking of, I'm not sure if this is going to be a long one tonight or not. Okay, Mr. Brot, I can make you guys feel old. I was born in 1963. I'm not sure that that makes us feel old.
Yeah, it doesn't make me feel old.
It might make you feel old. But I have seen pictures of you, Rob, and
You
for
don't-
63,
Yeah,
you're doing pretty good.
yeah.
In fact, one of my customers today, or yesterday, I can't remember. I'm too old. Oh, it was yesterday. Katia, she asked me how old I was because we were talking about something like some kind of pop culture 80s reference or something. Oh, maybe the Goonies. And I told her that I was 48. She's like, no way. I'm like, yeah. I'm like,
Just a baby.
Josh Bryant, I wish I got spanked. I got a week of no TV, phone, couldn't leave the yard, no video games. Only once did I get spanked. I was 6 years old and used the F word. My dad was shocked. My mom came into the room and yelled at him. I would take a few minutes of pain versus a week of punishment.
Well,
That makes
I
complete
understand
sense. LG Mike 1204. It always happens in Troywood. So this,
I haven't seen him comment in a
yeah,
while.
Mike, it's been a
He's
while.
back.
Yay! So this AM, watching less as I make a lot of hours at the local theme park I work at from 10 a.m. in the morning until 9 in the evening, but I love my new job as a ride operator. I now have all 7 rides learned and am allowed to operate them.
Awesome.
Is the Phoenix one of them? Because he works and they've got a Phoenix ride, which is really neat. Sean Launch, just do the haunt. The city legally can't do anything. That may be true, but one year they red tagged my house. That was 2017, and they said you can't live here, and I complained and then drove to Canada, and and on the way to Canada they said that they unred tagged the house and whatever because he had talked to his supervisors. So yes, probably what you say is correct, but at that moment it was incorrect. So what a fun time that was.
Yeah.
But we made it through, and here we are. Ben Massey, I love cantaloupe. Oh, translate to English. I love cantaloupe. Wow, way to go, Google. Ben Massey, also, I wonder if any prospectors or club members will be like, are you Mr. Francis' son? Well, interestingly enough, there were 2 members there that, so years ago, 11 years ago, no, 12 years ago, we all sold the claims to the Bedrock Prospectors Club, and the individuals that put the bug in Dad's ear and for like 4 years kept trying to get him to sell, both of those individuals were there, and it was actually kind of sad and kind of neat to have briefly met them. And you know, it's like, oh, there's the 6 degrees of separation between the Prospectors Club and Dad, and they're the ones that put the bug in his ear and sold the claims. And yeah, so it was actually kind of neat to I think everybody there kind of appreciated the fact of the history of it, because in my speech, and obviously we didn't record it, I did go back to the history of when I was young, because I was going up into that area when I was 3 or even younger. We went camping in that same area. So make sure I'm still recording, because you know this is good stuff. Oh, whew, I thought I wasn't recording for a second. I touched it and nothing happened. Real fan Jason. Yes, what Sean said. Oh, Ben Massey, I got a whooping and usually yelled at. It was, you're old enough, we shouldn't have to tell you.
Oh, I remember hearing that.
Oh, yeah. My dad always used to say, what did he used to say?
I do not know.
You do not? Well, I've told you before. Not, I mean, I should be the one that remembers this.
Do as I say, not as I do is one of the
Yes.
things he used to say all the time.
Yes,
I mean, lots of
he
people
did
say
say that.
but-
Do as I say, not as I do. He said, do what I tell you to because it might depend on your life someday. Dad-isms. 360 Steven 88, thanks for the video, Troy. You're absolutely welcome. That's what I do. Bren, I had the same thing happen a couple weeks ago. I woke up and the power line was down in front of my house. I called the electric company and they said it wasn't them, so they told me to call 911. So I called. They had a fire truck come to my house, and my neighbor, which happens to be the chief of the fire department, says to me, oh, you should have just wrapped it up. It's not going to hurt you. Anyways, I'm like, no, I'm not touching a wire. I don't know if it's live. Like, WTF.
This wire is actually still connected up top, but it's also laying across the power line.
Yeah, and it's still connected to our neighbor's house.
So,
And they still have signal and everything. It's just the truck, when it came by, it clipped it from wherever it was suspended from.
now
And-
it's just like a live wire hanging down. Well, it's not a live wire.
Well, we
It's
know...
a cable wire that's still connected, but it's leaning on other wires, and it's just not
Yeah.
touching it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you said, it's a cable wire. It's not dangerous in and of itself, but it is laying on a power wire, and especially now with it being wet outside, I'm like, you know, I'm not going to touch it.
It has been nice though that no one can drive
Fast down the
very
street.
fast. Like everybody drives really slow, and then they get to it, and you see them all looking at it like kind of like, what is this? And can I drive through it? And everybody I have seen
Turns around.
has turned around.
Yeah. Tony Fredrickson, I was born in 1967. Don't have memories of chores or spankings. You inspired a burp memory. Oh my. My brother and I will never forget eating dinner with our dad. He was drinking a 2-liter bottle of strawberry soda. He let out a burp. We swear to this day we saw fumes. Like when you are pumping gas, waves floated upward. It's burned into our memories.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, that is hilarious. Scare Hollow. So Portland had a mulch painting truck that had a leak that sprayed out red dye on both sides of the truck as it went up the 205 for over 5 miles.
Oh my
And it
God.
sprayed cars and highway sides and such.
The company had to pay for professional washes of the vehicles and the highways. It was a mess. Oh, that sounds like it.
Yeah, apparently they're not doing anything about the yellow. They're just expecting it'll all come
Oh,
off on its own.
yeah, it'll eventually go away. Scare Hollow, so the grasshoppers here in Josephine are huge. Like, they're the size of my first finger, so big.
Ugh.
So you're saying you have big hands?
Maybe he has little tiny hands and they're as long as his...
Sausages!
long as... a yolk. You have normal sized hands.
He also says Logan and Lizzie have a busy kid chore app.
Yeah, I think he's mentioned that before.
I think so. If they don't do it by the end of the week, then they don't get paid and have to do them that night without pay. Well, that works but Phoenix has daily chores, so feeding and watering the dogs, and he can probably get away without watering the dogs for the day, but if you didn't feed them, they'd die in 7 days probably. So, actually no, the watering.
The other way around.
Yeah, the other way around. Oh, okay, sorry. Halloween fur. When I was growing up, if you didn't do chores, you didn't get paid. You got 3 strikes. The first 2, you didn't get paid, and the last one, my mom said you got fired, but really that just means you wouldn't get paid for those 2 months, but you were still expected to do your chores the next 2 months. She kind of worked at like an actual job, or kind of worked like an actual job, I guess. So what happens if you didn't do your chores for the next 2 months?
That's not an option.
And Troy, you're not old, you're just wiser than me.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw this meme today on Facebook because, Facebook has many memes. And it said, when I was 16 years old, I thought that I knew everything and I wouldn't listen to anybody. Now that I'm older, I feel like I know everything and nobody will listen to me. Let's see. My mom always says that you're only as old as you feel, and my mom is 58 and my dad is 63. An old army vet told me one time that you're only as old as you look, and you're not old until you quit looking.
Sounds like something an old dude would say.
Yep. Halloween for also. And first of all, it's official. I'm going to be a reindeer at my niece's elementary school Christmas party. My sister, the PTA president, asked me, and I said yes, of course. Wonder why they always ask me. Oh, and I got that costume today, but to be honest, I don't mind. I kind of like making the little kids smile. That part is really fun to me, so I guess I'm going to be a reindeer going around for pictures. I like to make little kids cry.
Oh, God.
Well, in a haunt, of course. It's not like I want to walk up and take their ice cream away or something. But I will have made an impact, and they will never, ever forget that.
They may forget it.
No.
You have to block it out of their memory. Frighten them.
And I have a question for all the Hillians. How many of you dress up to give out candy on Halloween? Asks Halloween Fur. And he has his costume ready for that. And?
I dress up sometimes I do not. Depends on what's happening that year and how busy everything else keeps me.
And also how many trick-or-treaters you get.
Well, I've dressed up and only had like 4 trick-or-treaters before.
So you were that weird lady in the house that dresses up. Ooh, let's go there next year. Halloween Fur also, and for being honest, I'm going to be 28. Birthday is on September 1st. You know something? I remember you commenting, and it's been a long time. You've been with us for a while when you were like much younger. It's cool to see all these people grow, especially like Adam Owens. I remember when he was still like a teenager living at home, and I don't think Adam watches anymore. I mean, he's an adult. He's doing other things now, but he had Adam's Haunted Manor, and he would always ask us and engage with us for advice and stuff on how to have a haunt and how to keep your parents happy at the same time. Matt and Laura, Vlog Soup, I'm glad you got to be heard about your issues with the prospectors. Hopefully future camping expeditions will be drama-free. Hopefully they're not going to come into the campsite and say,
like,
hey,
there's
guys!
that couple that came down. Let's go and say hi to them. And can we bring our chairs? And
No, we go camping to not talk to people.
I mean, they were nice, but
They were nice. I was...
we're camp hermits. We like to.
We are.
We like to be where there's nothing but us in the wilderness.
So, the group that we talked to, obviously, the people that only go out on the weekends aren't going to go to these meetings that they have every month. So the meetings that they have every month is just like any other club. It's your diehards, your people that are really vested in what you're doing. And we were actually welcomed very warmly. So it was actually...
They even were like, are you going to be up there next weekend?
Yeah, yeah. It was actually a pleasant experience, and they were very nice to have heard us out, and I'm just glad that, I didn't approach it as being rude, just extremely informative and trying to have them see it from the other perspective.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anyway, Vlog Soup. I didn't get paid for doing regular chores, but I could earn money by doing extra things like washing cars or windows. My mom was abusive if we didn't do chores. My dad wasn't like that, so it was much better at his house. Oh.
That's hard.
Yeah. I'm thinking like parallel things there, but I can't say anything. A. Olson. That paint strip has been there for a hot minute. That's the way I take home every day. I live over in Lakewood. Oh, well, you should get with us and say hi. Go for coffee or something. Evan Evers from Trucker Josh's wedding, which, by the way, we have a snap streak going. No more chores meant any of the below. Any of the below. Couldn't go play with friends, early bedtime, no dinner, video games taken away, which will probably
More
be...
chores.
Huh?
You missed the more
Where?
chores.
Oh, more... Yeah, okay, yeah, more chores. Which will probably be the same...
This kind of was my approach with the other two kids of mine. It was kind of pretty... during the school year, not so much, but during the summertime...
Oh, yeah.
You do your chores or you're gonna have the wrath of mom.
And there's a fine line between being a parent, not being a friend, but being friendly, and still being a friend, and teaching them values to bring them up right, to be a contributing member of society, and yet also allowing them the freedom to still be a kid. So... being a parent is not easy. Joe Poppenhagen, my dad used a razor strap to spank. What is a razor strap?
You know, you'd like over the razor to.
No.
That big the leather strap with a razor?
No. Never. I've never. Huh. Okay. When I was 9, he brought me into the basement. He hit my butt with it, and it fell apart. We looked at each other and laughed. Dad said to scream so Mom could hear us in the kitchen. Never spanked me again. Wow. Oh, that's funny. Van Nile NSX, final comment of the night. I also remember getting spanked for playing with matches as a kid. My dad was a volunteer firefighter, so he was PO'd.
Mad.
Yeah, I can see so too.
Wow. I just remembered at school when I was like really small, kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2. I remember if you were bad, you had to go to the principal's office, and I don't remember if it was a ruler or a strap or something, but they still had that for a couple of years when I was in grade school, and then it was...
You know, when you just said ruler, I thought you were going to say rumor, because my elementary school was kind of the same way. If you were bad enough to go to the principal, I don't know if it was a rumor or if he actually did, but yeah, I think it was like probably a ruler or something.
Then after that, there was nothing. You just got in trouble and talked to.
I mean, for the same, like, if you're a kid and you touch a hot stove, you get burnt, you get hurt, you don't do it again. That's the whole thing behind spankings.
Wow.
And I know that's an old school thought,
It is.
but if you don't want if you don't want something to happen, then you don't do it, because you'll get bit. You don't put your hand in the snake's cage and expect to be like, oh, it'll be okay.
Yeah, but you're also not communicating properly then.
No.
You're using violence instead of proper
Well,
communication.
then that makes it sound all horrible and stuff. All right, good night, guys. See you tomorrow.
Right.